Hey, dogs, I'm David Hankins,
And I'm Jilly Cannon.
and you're on the air with Power Squared. We're hoping to have Jen join us, uh, and it's supposed to be a team meeting, and two of us Trevor and Paul are away at a Megadeth concert,
Mm-hmm.
so they couldn't be with us. So it's just gonna be a little chat between you and me, Julia.
Yeah,
How's it going?
good. How about you?
Pretty
How's,
good,
how's,
pretty
this,
good.
how's the summer heat?
Hot.
Mm-hmm.
We had to replace our air conditioner.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, you guys, you too.
yeah, it's going to be you know a while we're paying it off, I guess. But
No, like, no, funny enough, we're changing the air conditioner at where I work as well. The problem is it's a warehouse, so it's 10
uh,
times as bad.
oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would be really hard to keep
Yeah.
cool. I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Some like does he like freeze it at night and then it's that kind of stuff.
Pretty much. So like when it's the summer, obviously dress light. If it's the when it's the winter, oh, there
Uh,
she is. When it's the winter,
Sorry about
you just like bundle up as best as you can. There you go.
it's and she's back.
Mm-hmm.
How's
that.
it
I'm like,
going? Uh, Thanks for joining us.
hey.
Uh, Couple of things. I guess we're in the midst of changing on Power Squared,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking at the former and future. um, so Jen is going to start on. I sent you the script. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, and
Yeah,
you've read it and you got ideas. Okay, that's great. No,
yeah, I got an idea. Yeah.
oh good. So I'm not sure what number that is anymore.
I'm working on 27, so I'm assuming you gave her 28.
28,
Okay.
yes, which is about Agnes uh, Structor Miller, um, and it's a story where Dr. Atlas has to come to the boys for help.
Oh
So
Mm.
dear.
yeah, so
How are the turntables?
yes, how the tables have turned, and now he's needing their help because he doesn't know he can't turn anybody else
Mm-hmm.
about it. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. That'll be your first, and it's got all the um, pretty much every character that's been in the story shows up again in this, pretty much. But not everyone, but a lot of them do. So, be a little challenge for you.
Mm.
Let's start off
All
with that.
right.
If you need help with the Clip Studio, just let me know because I know that program can be very confusing.
It's
Yeah,
just a lot. It's turning up to be another like Photoshop. So.
Oh no! Okay, but Clip Studio is a
I,
lot more fun than Photoshop.
yeah. If you can, I'd prefer if you could actually draw them out, and then we could actually comment about it as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to um,
Yeah.
models. Or kind of hard to
Yeah.
tell. Um, and I was thinking perhaps when Julia finishes 27, that maybe she could just start coloring the pages you haven't colored and you could just start working on the next story.
Wait, so I basically color up the rest of issue 27?
She needs, if there are pages that she can color, I don't
Mm.
mind her doing that, but I'm thinking once you're done with 27, which will probably be next month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can make the switch then instead of waiting for a couple more months.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that okay with you, Jen?
It's okay by me. Yeah.
Okay.
As long as I
Um,
know beforehand, I'm okay with
yeah,
anything.
it's going to be just a surprise. And I'm going to want you to do 8 pages a month. I know it's going to be hard to start off, but that's why maybe if you can look at the script ahead of time, that might help.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, then there was a little bit of housekeeping. The cover of 25, has that been colored?
25. Give
25.
me a second.
Was that the snow
It's
yokai or the skeleton?
yeah,
Okay.
because Trevor's
I
read
think
reaction.
so.
Well, it's not in the Dropbox.
All right. I'll
Trevor's
see where I can find it right now.
Trevor's brief.
Or like, Yeah.
And the Dropbox is pretty full because I was ordering. Okay. So one of the announcements will be that we're actually tabling at LA Comic Con, and so I was ordering some issues to sell, hopefully at the show, and we had changed some stuff, including the cover. We'd added the little SRCC press bug, and we actually had changed some of the internal pages from 1 through 5, and so I was having to submit those pages, those revisions, to the printer, and the only way I could do it was to give them a link to the Dropbox. So I had to put all those issues in the Dropbox, which pretty much filled it. So if you need me to take something else out, let me know. But hopefully there's enough room to put that in there.
Actually, I've been thinking about this for a while now. If you'd like, since I'm the one because I kind of use Dropbox a lot more than just obviously powerssquared. So if you'd like, would you want me to like maybe make a link under me? Because I have an account that has like more than like the, I guess, standard amount for a free account. So if I remember correctly when I was reading over it, that those 2 terabytes that I have that is personally mine should also work with anything I share. Does that make sense? So if that does end up being the case, would you want to, maybe I could like, just so we don't have to, just so like you don't have to worry about it overflowing all the time?
Well, I think once, and I wrote to the printer. It's Kablam in Florida. I said, I put those links up, and as soon as you're done, let me know so I can take them down because it's eating up. So it's like, I'm gonna say it's like 6 issues or something. So it's kind of a lot.
No, I understand,
And
but like I'm saying for the future, like would you want to like
oh,
maybe?
let's cross that bridge. I mean, it's a very good possibility.
Okay.
But I think if I clear out the stuff, and I kind of tend to leave stuff in the Dropbox, if I can clear those out, that'll clear up a lot.
Yeah.
And then just sort of, I don't want to take things out that people might be needing, like Trevor needs to have the letter and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's a nice offer. I may take you up on it.
Okay, just let me know because it's easy to like link everybody in one place.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just also say, while we're at tabling at LA Comic Con, I also proposed a panel that they accepted, so that'll be another, hopefully, an avenue. It's the same one we did a couple of years ago, Under the Radar, comic books you may not have heard of, and we're still one of those groups. And I found 2 other people to be a part of it, and then, as I say, I got John Barber to be the moderator. So it's kind of he used to be the editor at IDW, writer of Transformers comic books and stuff. So he's kind of way better well known than I am. So it was a nice little coup to get him to be a part of it. So yeah, now he's at another company. I forgot the name of it. It's one of those universal, worldwide, galactic kind of thing. So they're trying to cover everything. Anyway, he'll be the moderator, and I don't know the day of the week yet that we'll be on, but it'll be a Saturday or a Sunday.
Okay.
I prefer Saturday. Well, because then people have a chance to maybe come by your booth on Sunday, or later that day or something, instead of Sunday on the way out by.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we'll see. And then obviously there'll be more announcements when the panel is, the date's confirmed, which probably won't be for a couple of weeks. Or at least August 15th, I guess, is what they said. So it's not that far, about a week away. And then I won't know the location of the booth until like 2 or 3 weeks. So I talked to the guy there today.
Yeah,
it was kind of weird. What?
No, I was gonna ask a question about boothing, but I was gonna say, usually when you do booths and stuff, like how much time would they usually give you until they give you your location?
It's supposed to be. I was talking to a guy today at LA Comic Con, And he said it'd be like 3 weeks before they get us the location.
Yeah, because I remember a friend of mine, we were talking about it one time. Like, he's, like, contemplating on doing, like, a booth, if not Comic-Con, like, I guess like, for Anime Expo sometime in the next couple of years.
Uh-huh.
So I guess, like, it's kind of interesting to see how it goes, like, how, like, that type of information goes out.
Yeah, it was kind of scary because I think the deadline to pay, I had paid half of it already. It's like the booth is like $700.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure we're not going to sell $700 worth of Power Squared. But I paid half of it, and then the rest was due like on the 15th, I think, August 15th. They have to have the second half. And okay, I'm willing to pay it, but how? And I had never gotten an invoice or anything, so I was like, kind of like time seemed to be clicking down. So I tried to call the guy that I had talked to before about the booth, and the number you're dialing is out of service. Like,
Oh,
what?
no!
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And then there was a number on the receipt I got originally with different numbers. I called that. The number you're calling is out of service. And,
Oh, no!
yeah, and then LA Comic Con doesn't have a phone number necessarily. So I was getting kind of panicked. And so I had written to this guy at Comic Con. I wrote to the guy that sent me to the guy I talked to about the booth. I wrote to the guy who had sent me the receipt, just a different person. I wrote the info at Comic Con, and I even hit him up on Facebook. I'm trying to pay all the numbers don't work. And so he called. I did get an invoice, which I paid, and then I wrote to the guy again, and he responded. He called me this afternoon, and I said, "What happened to all the phone numbers?" And he goes, "Oh, we're changing locations, and we have new service, so all the numbers were bad." I'm like,
Oh.
That is unfortunate. Almost unfortunate.
I mean,
That's-
it's still better than the Reddit story of I got scammed, so...
"Oh no, yeah, I wasn't worried about being scammed. It's just like I could, well, you never paid your other half, so
Where's the money? Wait, so, like, when you're doing booths and stuff at Comic-Con and stuff, like, how does, like, the tax work there? Is it just the flat 700 and you keep the rest? Or do you have to pay, like, a tax at the end of the con or something? Of, like, your sales?
Well, see, this is our first time to actually do this. I think I need to have a reseller's license, which I don't think is cost anything, but you have to have that. And I think with Square, if we use that for credit cards, then they're going to charge a tax. And then we have to settle up at some point. I'm not sure how to actually, that mechanics I'm not sure about.
Okay. Yeah, because
I
I know...
think there's like a service fee per the type of bank used, and or if you do online service, that's I think an additional fee.
I'm probably not going to make any money on this. I'd be lucky if somebody buys one. And if someone wants to pay me cash for it, great. But
See, the cash things we do not. I'm kidding.
yeah, but if it comes down to actually figuring out, I'm hopefully cross that bridge soon. It's less than 2 months away now. So so there's a lot of as I say, I was trying to buy have at least 5 copies of every issue, just in case somebody wants it. I realized I have like 29 copies of the first issue. And then like 18 of the second, and then 3 and 4 and 8, and so I was just trying to at least have 5, so in case somebody decides they want to buy everything, great. But I'm just hoping that we get people to sign up for the newsletter while they're there. Is really what I'm hoping for. And then we're actually going to have T-shirts. We're not going to sell them at the thing because I don't want to have a stack of T-shirts.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But we worked out there'll be a discount, 15% during the con. So if somebody wants to buy a T-shirt, then they basically it pays for probably for the shipping or something. So and the shirts are like $20, so it's not very much. So anyway, that's kind of the prep stuff so far, and I'm sure I got to do more than I'm doing. But I don't know if we mentioned this to you. I had applied for a booth at WonderCon and was on a waiting list. And when we went to WonderCon, there were like empty booths all over the place.
Oh no!
So I didn't make the cut or what? And then I had applied for one at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. Not And about a month, less than a month before the con, they said, "Oh, hey, booth is opened up," and I was like, "Okay, I'm not ready to do that," So I don't have the books ordered or any of that kind of stuff because I was counting on the fact you turned me down. So I, sadly said no. But I think it was the right move because we've never done LA Comic Con. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a major for us, but it's not like it's not like San Diego or WonderCon or New York or whatever. It's big, but it's not that big, and so I didn't want to like blow it on the the biggest stage, look like a total idiot or whatever. So.
Now, speaking of San Diego Comic Con, how was it?
Well, it's always fun. Actually, there's 3 videos that we've done about it.
I saw them earlier, but I just haven't had the time.
One of them is just Paul talking about all the great stuff he bought. We bought. It's always fun and frustrating and tiring and exciting. It goes by way too fast. And at the same time you're really tired by the time it's over because it's 5 days. We averaged like I was clocking my own steps, and it was like I usually try to do 10,000 a day. We were doing like 17,000 a day.
I feel like that's like a given for any convention you go to. Like your exercise just goes up like 10 times more, like twice as much.
And we were lucky enough to actually park at the convention center, which saved lots of walking.
Yeah.
And so that we saved probably several thousand steps that way. But, it's still a lot of walking and a lot of waiting. We went down on preview night, and we were there kind of early. I mean, it's like they opened the door at like 3 in the afternoon or something, or I don't know, maybe earlier than that. We got there about 3, maybe a couple hundred people. I was like 10 rows ahead of us or something of people. And by the time you get to the floor, all the lines are capped. And it's like, where do all these people come from? And
they don't sleep. That's the answer.
Well, no, part of it is people who are exhibitors also have attendee badges, and so they get in line right away.
Yeah.
And cap every line. And then I was in one line that never seemed like it was going to move. Trying to get an autograph or buy something for Paul, and it wasn't moving, so I went to another line to buy something for Paul, and they were like, "Oh, come back at 7." So I come back at 7, and 7's now 7:15, and so you hang around 7:15, and suddenly there's already like a bunch of people ahead of you at 7:15. But I finally got that, and then Paul was in line for I think it's called 100% Soft, and trying to buy this. I'll say object, garbage fire. They sold these like little those garbage bins that you see by apartments and stuff. Those really big ones. There was one that on fire.
Oh, I know. It's like a little character, right? Like a little fire. Dumpster fire. Little dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire, and this was for Deadpool. So
okay.
he was in line for like an hour.
Oh.
And as the credit card went through, the floor is closed. So he was like he was the last person to actually get something probably on the floor from that booth at the time.
That's
Everybody
lucky.
else was like, sorry, you have to come back to so that part of it is I really I don't. There's very few exclusives that I really care about. So it's a lot of waiting in line for stuff, and then we discovered. Actually, Nancy discovered it, that there's a professional line, because we were professional badges. You don't have to wait in line in the sales pavilion with everybody. You can go down and wait in a line closer to the floor, which is a smaller group of people, and they let you go in. When they start letting the sales pavilion go in, they let you go in, so you're like way closer to the front. And we didn't know that existed. We've been professionals for about 6 years or 4 years. Had no idea that existed. And she just found out kind of by accident because she was they want to wait, and the salespeople only went to this hallway next to it, which also has people lined up, and they said, "Oh yeah, come on through. She's a professional." So she went down, and got on the floor pretty quickly, and then so I had gone to. They have a professional lounge as well, which we only found out about last year, and I was in there like having a cup of coffee, waiting for the time to go down on the floor, and she said, "I'm already there." What? So we started going down into the professional line on the other days. So it kind of kept the wait time down slightly to get down to the floor, and there's less people if you're one of the first groups to get down there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of helpful to know.
Mm-hmm.
So little trick we learned. uh, but you wouldn't, they don't tell you that ever. And supposedly there's an entrance for professionals too. So because you guys work on a comic book, you get a professional status for Comic-Con. So
Hey.
go down.
I'll keep that in mind.
Just gonna figure out the time to go.
Well, the nice thing about professional is it's free to go.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, attendees pay. You're a professional, you get to go for free.
Is that in the same vein as, because I know some friends who went, I forgot which, it was like this content creator convention. Is it like one of those passes where it's a caveat like, yeah, you can get the thing for free, however if you're there on, say, quote unquote business, you kind of have to like show like content that you were there for business, i.e. like you guys were vlogging, so that would be your proof, right?
Oh, actually, as far as I know, if once you get professional status, you can you don't have to prove you're there on business or anything.
Oh, okay. Because I know some convention passes where like if you're there for like part of a business or like say a content creator, usually like the caveat is like, hey, if you're there like say in like a journalism pass or something, you gotta show like, hey, you gotta prove to like you're a journalism or you're like part of this business per se.
In order to
get the professional pass, you have to show that you've done something in the last 3 years, I think.
Okay.
You can't have, I did a comic book when I was a teenager and now I'm professional.
Yeah.
And they were cracking down more on people that weren't in the comic book industry. Like I know a guy that goes because he works at now it's Amazon MGM, but he used to be at MGM doing he got a professional pass because he was in the film industry.
Yeah.
But now they were cracking down more on, they want you to be kind of in the more creative instead of just in the industry.
Yeah.
And then we had to reapply this year because it's good for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a deadline, I'll say like August 15th, and we didn't find out until February,
Mm-hmm.
after they'd already sold all the tickets and everything. Then they tell you, oh yeah, you're professional.
Mm-hmm.
And it was enough time for us to get WonderCon, but some people, like he ended up paying to go to WonderCon, then oh yeah, now you're professional, now we'll give you the money back.
Yeah.
It's kind of they kind of are slow sometimes to approve things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought it always worked like with Anime Expo when I was investigating like 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
where if you get a table, your badge also counts as an attendee, and you can go for all 4 days.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, when we go to San Diego Comic-Con, we don't have a table. We're just there. So yeah, I assume now that we have a table at LA Comic-Con, we're not paying to go to LA Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we should be small press, and supposedly we're going to get 4 for everybody and Nancy are going to go. Anyway, so we'll be down there for 3 days in October. So it'll be kind of a first shot for us to figure out how to get people interested in Power Square.
Let's just hope that it gets cooler by that time.
For sure.
Yeah, and so it's gonna be, it's gonna be fun and scary and tiring because you're supposed to. We watched the video that Steven Silver, who's a character designer that Char took some classes from, put out for artists. Wasn't really for us so much, but what you should do when you have a table at a convention. And one of the things he mentioned was you should always be standing up because you want people to see you when they come by instead of sitting down, looking at your phone and all that, which I am hoping that's not going to be the case. But so you have to pretty much stand for the whole time, which was like 10 hours. So that'd be a lot of fun too. So it'll be a little bit of a awakening for us. Oh,
Yeah.
this
Sure
is what
to
it's like to
be
do.
sure to get those Dr. Shell's gel also.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, or something to stand on. There's
Yeah.
you can get padding to stand on.
I
So
actually
like,
do have one for my sit and stand desk. Like whenever I use it, I have like this little pad that has like a bunch of like little like bumps on it, just so I can like step on it while I'm
yeah,
Get a husky mat.
the husky
Like,
mat.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That I often do like repairs around the house, so
Uh-huh.
I bought one of those. Like finally, I have something that's not just tile floor.
uh,
I have wood
And it
flooring, so
helps
I know
with
your
like
pain.
washing too, because it hurts my feet.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's gonna be, we're gonna probably learn a lot, and probably, I'm gonna guess probably not love the experience so much, but I think we need to start doing that kind of stuff to get, people that know that we exist.
Mhm.
We went to a couple. I drugged Paul to a couple of networking events at Comic Con. One of which was just anybody that had anything creative, and there was a guy there working on a cookbook which was for a game. I'm sorry, I forgot the game, but it was like recipes they might have in the game, and somebody working on actual games, board tabletop games, and people that were writers and some, so all this hodgepodge of people, and it was kind of nice to meet some of them. One was, a costume designer and things like that. And then there was the second one we went to that was, they brought professionals in, and you would sit at a table, and they'd come over, and then you kind of reintroduce yourself, kind of a speed dating thing for about 20 minutes. And they would hopefully give you advice on things. Oh, you should do this and do this and do this kind of deal. You hope that's what they would do. And then, so one of them suggested that we do more videos, and they actually have a post multiple times a day. And I'm like, oh, great! I have this job thing that kind of takes up a big chunk of the day, but I guess you can schedule stuff, and so we have to kind of explore that. But
I'll recommend you something later after.
okay.
Yeah.
But they always like give you what they tell you to do costs money, a lot of money sometimes, and it's like, okay,
It's like
I'm a small guy, I can't afford to spend a lot of money on it.
yeah, it's either you learn how to do the thing or hire someone to do the thing for you, and it's like it's a weird area.
Well, I kind of figure I could do, we do a little Instagram video after these podcasts, Paul and I do, and we could do like little Instagram level videos, but it'd be nice if they had some editing, because they like to talk about something. It'd be nice if you could see it. So
Yeah, I
okay.
think that side is more of like the viewer retention, because if you notice like videos, say like MatPat, or I guess if you're that obscure, like people like Maxor or like any of those big content, like usually they'll have content that like there's like a bunch of stuff going on at once, or like the jumps and stuff that kind of leaves like either the viewer laughing or more attentive. But even then, those can be a bit like you gotta either sacrifice an arm and a leg and money, or your mentality to learn Premiere Pro and hope for the best.
Well, Paul can actually edit video fairly well. I mean, he edited the two of the videos that he did, and he added images and things like that. But I also don't want at the same time give them this chore to do these.
Yeah, no, I get you.
But it would be. I think we should be doing something more than we're doing. And if you girls want to do one or something, that'd be fun too.
If something comes up, I'll be sure to post it in the Discord.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just anything to get the name out there. So, and I try to say at Blythe _ POV did this. So if you ever see that, want to pick up on that, you can do that too. If you, apparently nobody wants to do. So anyway, we're so I think that's the biggest thing. And we have an issue coming out in September, but we'll have a little meeting about that after the book club next week. And shoot that video. And so everybody's read the book for next week's
Yeah, I'm gonna read it over again before we start the book club next week.
I need to look at it again. It's been like a month since I read
That's
it.
valid.
Yeah, pretty much. I bought it after like a few weeks after, and I just need to
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
review.
it'd be nice to kind of look at it again.
Mm-hmm.
But that should be fun. And I guess I should say, if we're winding down, I assume if you're watching this on YouTube, uh, click like and ring the bell to share or subscribe, right? Whatever the verbiage is.
Yeah.
Hey, you got anything else you want to say before we?
Stay hydrated, stay healthy, be safe, don't die.
Okay. So until next time, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Julia Cannon.
And I'm Jen Moreno.
and you've been on the air with Power Squared.
Bye.